Good afternoon there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Texas Motorspeedway. Tonight is the Duck Commander 250 K&N Pro Cars. I'm Tim McBurry up here in the booth. Alongside me is my friend and colleague, Ryan Galville. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to another great race here in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com K&N Pro Series. Got a pretty good looking field here tonight after last week's race at Talladega. This is only the second race of the season. We got 135 laps scheduled in the under the sun and the heat of the Texas Motorspeedway here in Fort Worth, Texas. The mile-and-a-half long track is set to put on a good show, and my expectations for the race is high tire wear. It's going to put on a good show because in this afternoon heat, it's going to be an interesting race on the long run if we do get some long runs as we did last week at Talladega. And a pretty good field. We got 25 cars qualified for this race here tonight, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, last week we had a bad start on it at Talladega, but hopefully we get a better start tonight.
Yeah, last week's race started with that lap one big crash, and the four big names that were taken out of that wreck, taken out of the race in that early wreck, are starting first through fourth here tonight. And I'll go through the lineup here if you'd like, Tim. We got a solid field of 25 cars that qualified, and on pole is the number 31 car of Andrew Mraz, usually the 21 car last season. Now he's in the 31. Andrew Mraz on the pole, the 29.831 second lap time. Starting second would be the big man Rick Donathan in the 18 machine. Starting third, Dylan Mirando. Starting fourth, Doug Blackman. Fifth is Alan Fox. Sixth is Greg Elliott. Seventh, Damian Crump. Cody Fabianic starts in eighth. Ninth is Lee Overton. 10th is Tommy Gossett. 11th is going to be Jeremy Clifton. 12th will be William Martin. 13th, Jerry Glenn. 14th is Douglas Carlson. 15th is Orlando Rivera. 16th is going to be fan favorite Brandon Ketchum. 17th is Brandon Fries. 18th is Alan Hilton. 19th is Jake Clarkson. Then it's Andrew Jump in 20th. Casey Duncan in 21st. David Schneer in 22nd, Mike Gant in 23rd. 24th is Jacob Chalafo, and rounding out the field is going to be Roy Geeson in the 25th position in the car number 33.
Well, I'm looking for a good race tonight there, Ryan. I think our boys are going to give us a good one.
Yeah, I think you're right on that note, and we still got about another minute here until the cars hit the grid, but it's going to be an awesome race under the heat here, and track temperature is just under 90 degrees. It's 89, and with the new Iracing update, that changes throughout the race with cloud covering the sun, and it also changes as the sun begins to set into the sky, into the horizon, as the night comes up crawling on these guys. And if we do have the sun come down behind some buildings and the track cools down, it will only make the cars tighter and faster around this racetrack, and that will make for some very exciting racing.
It sure will there, Ryan. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it, Bubba. This is going to be a good race tonight. I can just feel it in my bones.
Yeah, it's for sure going to be a very good one. In game time right now, we're going to be taking the grid here at about, I think that's, 4:40 p.m. time. Local time for Texas is the sim time here in the game. So if we do, and it's at 1x speed, so that means it ticks on 1 second is 1 second, so it's just normal time. So if we come down, this race takes an hour and a half. We could see the sun start to set around 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish in sim time here at Texas Motorspeedway. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays a factor in this race.
Yes, it will, and people are going to get to see the transaction from daylight to dark. All right, Ryan, we gridding them up, Bubba.
Yes, sir. Everyone's hitting the grid here. We get 2 minutes to grid, and we'll start rolling for one pace lap toward the green flag.
I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Hello, TNP Knives. That's one of our sponsors, Brandon Ketchum. Hey, Dylan, Christina, good evening. Good evening, everybody in the chat. We're getting ready to go racing, y'all. Buckle up. We're getting ready to go racing. Where's our outside hickey up pole? They late getting in there, ain't they?
Yeah, still a couple guys that need to hit the grid.
There they come.
So this week we're at Texas, obviously. Last week at Talladega, so we're going from the 2.5 mile track to the 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. And next week we're heading to the high bank short track of Bristol Motorspeedway, Thunder Valley there. That'll be a great race. One of the shortest tracks we go to next to Martinsville, which is the shortest track we go to. That is in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, we got Martinsville this time around.
Yeah, got a cool schedule, including couple short tracks include Bristol, Martinsville, and Iowa, and also some sort of smaller tracks of Gateway and New Hampshire. Also, we have the road course at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the brand new Roval here on iRacing. That's set to be a awesome show.
That's going to be an awesome show right there, Ryan.
Yeah, we saw that race in real life with the Cup cars, and man, that was pretty cool to watch. And we're also doing the Charlotte Oval, the night race at the Oval, 2 weeks from now. A couple other 1.5 miles like Chicago, Atlanta. Pocono is a very unique track thrown in there, and the season comes to an end at the 2 mile track at Michigan International Speedway.
All right, here we go there.
Cars are rolling onto the track.
That's right. Let me know, everybody in the chat there, if everything looks good and sounds good. Hey, Nolan. I think everything sounds good.
Coming down the back straightaway, Andrew Mraz and Rick Donathan on the front row. Hopefully we can get ourselves a cleaner start than we did last week here. Andrew Mraz and Rick Donathan are set to lead the field to the green flag.
Don't you know that Rick's scared?
Yeah, after seeing what happened last week, taking all 4 of those guys that are up front right now, all got taken out in that wreck.
Yeah, they sure did.
Very fast riders. Took a big hit in the points early off in the season. Pace car is in.
Hey, no.
Green. Andrew Mraz
All right.
takes off on Rick Donathan and Dylan Mirando, trying to get up to second already as we head down into turn 1.
It's starting out good.
Yeah, early lead there for Mraz and Mirando. Donathan did not get going there out of turn 2. He's already fallen back to 4th, as Alan Fox is also going to jump on him for 3rd there.
I'll catch up with you in just a second.
And Andrew Mraz put out a big early lead as the field begins to fan out, trying to take care of these tires. And they're looking like they're going to battle for 3rd again. Rick Donathan looking to jump back on Alan Fox for 3rd. He lost that spot on a bad start he had, and he wants the spot back already on the bottom of the racetrack against the 73 car.
Well, tonight Andrew Mraz is out front. He ain't called no wreck.
Yeah, he's done a full lap now. He's coming to complete 2. He's done better than he did last week. He didn't make it to turn 3 of the first lap before he was basically out of the race.
That's right.
Now he's still leading over Dylan Mirando, which both of those guys, Mraz and Mirando, were some of the fastest cars we saw all of last season. They're the veterans of the series, really, compared to most of these guys, and they're showing it tonight.
We got a new face on the track tonight, ain't we?
Yeah, Alan Fox, one guy.
Yeah.
I believe he ran last week, and he is up in 3rd early in the going here. He's showing some talent, and he's pretty strong right now.
He's doing a great job there, him being in 3rd right there. He got Rick Donathan up above him there.
Yeah, it's the right guy to be putting on a nice clean fight with his league owner, Rick Donathan, running 4th place now down the back straightaway. Didn't really get to see much of him last week. Again, he was taken out in the early lap 1 accident.
Yeah, I hated that too, Ryan. Them good cars that got took out.
That's right. Greg Elliott running 2nd right now was the runner-up last week. He's in the 13 car, on the 5th rather, and he's right behind Donathan and Alan Fox, who are putting on a great battle for 3rd still.
There goes Rick Donaldson. He got around him.
That's right. He's finally got his way around the 73 car for third. Pretty good battle there. Donathan had to work to get by him.
I tell you what, you watch out for him. If everything stays clean, Rick will be there, buddy.
That's right. As long as he didn't burn up those tires trying to pass the 73 car Alan Fox there, he should be up there in no time. But battle for the lead looks like it's starting to heat up. Dylan Mirando has reeled in Andrew Mraz there for the lead.
That's right.
He's right on his back bumper at turn 4. I think Mraz might be taking it easy here at the start of this race, but he doesn't look like he's washing up toward the wall or anything. But Mirando certainly wants to take advantage of him if he is holding back. And man, he is right on the left rear of that 31 Chevrolet down the back straightaway.
He's done a crossover, didn't he?
Yeah, he went from top to bottom. He's looking all over the track trying to find a hole next to the 31 of Mraz. He wants to pass him somehow, some way. Mraz is holding him up right now, trying to save his stuff. And Mirando does not want to save as much as Andrew is, and he wants to get around him.
Dylan is right in the path of the 31 where he needs to be.
That is right. That 31 car taking his lane away, which hurts Mirando in the corners, getting a little bit of aero tight. But down the straightaways, he gets the draft, and that really is a big advantage there. But here he comes in the corner, gets a nice wide arc. He's going to have a pretty good exit here, I think. Oh, no, he caught the apron, and he makes a save there sideways. Also, Rick Donathan from third got sideways at the same time, and he got hit from behind. And there goes Rick Donathan through the infield grass. No caution's going to come out. He's going to hang on to it. Oh, no. He's going to clobber the inside wall. Rick Donathan.
Oh, no.
The yellow flag is out.
Sitting on the middle of the racetrack. Jacob Chalafo involved, and there's your caution. Rick Donathan. Not the guy you would think to bring out the caution, but he lost it in turn 4. Slid back up the track and got into Cody Fabianic, and around he went toward the infield grass, and I thought he was going to be able to hold on to it, but he bounced off the pit wall and came right back in front of the field on the racetrack and brought the caution out.
And his night is done again there, Ryan.
Yep, a little earlier than he wanted it to be.
Oh, boy.
Jonathan's out.
Yeah, his car's smoking and they ain't got no fast fix.
Yep, that is game over. Donathan got the apron just like Mirando did right in front of him. Had it saved, but he came up in front of Fabianic, who also has heavy damage in the 55 car. And then he spun into the pit wall and came back up the track into Jacob Chalafo there in the 71 car.
Yep.
Who is also, looks like he's going to be out of this race. He was running toward the back of the field. I think he was dead last at the moment of caution.
We got him coming into the pit.
Yep, whole field's going to come in here. They did a pretty solid run there. They got about 8 or 9 laps in under green, so those tires are worn out pretty good, and they need 4 fresh ones for sure here.
Man, I hate that about Rick. Dadgummit.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it was. I hope everybody's enjoying. I hope everything's all right out there on my set here. If it ain't, somebody let me know. If the sound is right and the picture is right.
Andrew Mraz out of pit road first easily there with 4 tires. Mirando in tow in second. Greg Elliott still third. Tommy Gossett gets around Alan Fox for 4th. So Fox falls to 5th. And the rest of the field coming out, except for the 55 car of Cody Fabianic, who was running in the 6th position. He has some very heavy damage to that car, and he has to get that fixed as best he can, but he's going to be off the pace for sure with that contact he had with Rick Donathan. Also, Jeremy Clifton with some damage in pit road in the 21 car. He must have gotten into the wall during that run. He's in the back of the field. He's still in pit road. Those are 4 guys down pit road right now. Damage fixed.
All right, thank you, Dirty Man. Yeah, we'll go back. We'll catch 1 or 2 of them. I didn't hit the instant replay. I have to go way back now to get it. Let's see if we can find it. Let me know when the pace car lights are off.
Yeah, they are still on. They must have just taken 2 laps to green there. Mraz leads. There's still single file lights on the pace car.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. Well, Bit of water. Let's just wait till next time, y'all. Get everything straightened out here. Got some nice looking cars out there tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, Andrew Mraz leading in that Pepsi paint scheme is the one I'm seeing in the 31. It's a cool looking car out front.
Yeah, he's sharp.
Dylan Mirando is always in that purple car right there.
You got your Budweiser car behind him.
Yeah, that's right.
This is them laybacks. Some of them.
Got Casey Duncan in a throwback Darrell Waltrip car there in 10th. That's another cool one in the 17.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like inside of Andrew Mraz right here. Let's look inside his car.
Yeah, the pace car just took one lap to green as they're in turn 1. Lights are off.
All right, let's go to Dylan Mirando. There we go. That's the leader. Whoever's leading, I guess. Right?
Yeah, Mraz is leading. He's going to elect to start on the bottom. After that accident, we have now only 23 lead lap cars. Donathan and Chalifaux are 24th and 25th. They are 3 laps down and more than likely out of this race. And if they are able to return, it's probably not going to be for about half an hour worth of repairs with all that engine damage.
Yeah, for real.
Fabianic and Clifton there are 22nd and 23rd with heavy damage, still hanging in there. But we'll see how the rest of the field does with no damage here as the pace car drops in for the 31 of Andrew Mraz. He's going to jump early here as the pace car drops in. He gets a jump on Miranda, and we're going to see what Greg Elliott can do on the inside there in the Budweiser car, going for second place on Miranda.
Well, Greg jumped on it, didn't he?
He did. He's taking the lead quick here on the bottom side. Dylan Miranda falls to 4th place behind Tommy Gossett. So the 2nd place finisher from last week and the 3rd place finisher from last week running 2nd and 3rd right now behind Andrew Mraz. That's Greg Elliott, and Tommy Gossett's finished 2nd and 3rd last week and running 2nd and 3rd right now as Andrew Mraz leads the field single file down the front straightaway. But now Gossett gets into the side of Greg Elliott and turns him around into turn number 1. He's around. Everybody scattering to miss him.
All right, let's get that one back. There's a replay.
Man, another quick caution that time. Greg Elliott running 2nd. I jinxed him a little bit on that one. Tommy Gossett.
There's your replay.
Tommy Gossett stuck his nose in there, and Greg Elliott shot down the track. I don't know if I want to call that a dive bomb. I mean, Gossett had the position. It wasn't really late. He had his nose in there, and the 13 came down a little bit. And around the 13 went, and that car is pretty toast as it sat there in 1 and 2. The rest of the field did a great job avoiding him, though.
And he was running 2nd, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was running real well. If anyone got into him, Brandon Freese might have got into him, but I don't see much damage on the car. He might have gotten away with that one, but heavy damage for the 13.
Yeah. Well, can't win them all, brother.
Yeah, 2nd place.
Hey, Pac-Man.
2nd place last week. He's falling back to the back of the field now with heavy damage.
Yep. Well, it's racing, buddy.
Yeah, it happens. A little unlucky this week. Had a good finish last week, and he was in good shape to do well again this week. But to the back of the field he goes. The field staying out for the most part until you go toward the back. They only got about a lap in on those tires that time, so no real damage to them. Most of the field stays out. A couple guys like Brandon Freese, who is going to check for damage. He's in pit road, and a couple guys from the tail end of the field also coming in.
Is Rick Donaldson getting his car fixed?
He's trying to. It's going to be with the engine damage. Usually that's 30 to 45 minutes of repairs or so. So if he is going to come back on track, he's going to be well behind.
I don't think that was engine damage. It was just the radiator, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna going to be a while either way. If he decides to come back on the track, he can. If not,
Yeah.
he doesn't have to. They gave Greg Elliott the EOL penalty on that one for the cause of incident. He was the one that was on the top and came down and spun, and he is out of his car right now. He's got extensive damage to that car. It's not going to matter anyway. He's going to have to go laps down on that one.
Yeah, and Greg was running third, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was up there doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, he was.
Tommy Gossett there.
Tommy Gossett and Dylan Miranda right there, they're doing pretty good. And you got Alan Fox. He's in fourth there now. The 73. I can get it on there. There he is. There's 73, and you got Doug Blackman right there in fifth there, Ryan.
Yeah, Doug Blackman's having a pretty good run. He had a great season last year up until the latter half of the season. He kind of fell off the face of the earth for a little bit, but he's looking strong so far here at Texas, running fifth. Dylan Miranda still up there in third, had a bad restart, fell back a little, but he can totally climb his way back to the front. He was right there with Andrew Mraz at the very beginning of this race.
You got Damian Crump right there. He's in sixth, and we ain't been talking about him too much here lately.
No, last week he ran up front for a little bit, and he made one save that I totally remember like it was yesterday. It was an unbelievable save he had there at Talladega last week, and it showed that he has some talent, and he's running up there in the sixth position. And I'm sure we're not done talking about him yet tonight. He's going to be up there.
I believe he will. He'll be up there around Andrew Neal before it's over with.
I think so too. Pace lights are off here on the Iracing Ford GT pace car. A couple guys getting damage fixed coming out. Greg Elliott actually stayed on the lead lap there. He just barely beat the pace car coming out of pit road. He's got heavy damage, but he's going to be able to crawl around there. Also, Cody Fabianic going to do the same back there in 22nd, 23rd. Chalafo and Donathan, the only two cars basically out of this race. They're going to be 10 laps down here next time by when we take the green. They're 24th and 25th. So 23 cars still on the lead lap. Not all of them are 100% clean with a chance to win the race, but we'll see how it fans out here. If we get a long run, we got Andrew Mraz and Tommy Gossett on the front row for this restart.
Oh, yeah. And you can't count out them guys back in 10th and 12th and all that. If it stays green there, Brandon Fry's in 17th. He's running in 17th right there, so Brandon is a well-known driver out there. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, Casey Duncan also. He's 21st. Now he's up to 10th. 21st is where he started, and also pitching from 16th to 9th as we take the green flag. Andrew Mraz started on pole, and he's still there as he heads down into turn one. Tommy Gossett from 10th to 2nd, and he is in a battle for that second position now down into turn one with Dylan Miranda in the 27 car. Miranda is clear back up into the second position where he was before that last restart. Now he's going to see if he can get away from Tommy Gossett and reel in Andrew Mraz as the top four cars get single file, but we got one around. Doug Blackman into the wall hard. Another car involved is William Martin.
Wow.
And there's a big crash down toward turn number 3 as they keep on piling in. We got the big one over here in turn 4. Man, oh man, a ton of cars are going to get taken out in this crash.
Big one at Texas, huh?
Down into turn 3. I didn't see what started it, but the first thing I saw was Doug Blackman sideways. Looks like he was on the outside of Damian Crump heading into turn 3. He's going to come down, and Damian Crump washed up the track. Looks like he got into those bumps down there in turn 3. This is the pre-repaved Texas, the bumpy Texas, and he got turned up into the 37 of William Martin. And after those two got together, they went down the track, and
my Lord,
man, some guys didn't even come close to slowing down and piled in there. Cody Fabianic and Greg Elliott, who were already heavily damaged at the very back of the field, they came barreling in there. Casey Duncan was involved. So was the, I think that's the 86 maybe, Douglas Carlson, last week's winner. I think he was involved. No, that wasn't him. I'm sorry. That was Andrew Jump in the 88 machine. also involved. So big crash. That's going to take out at least 6 cars.
Casey Duncan, is his car clean? No, he got some damage on it, ain't he?
Casey Duncan got a little bit of damage. He'll be able to continue on at least at some sort of pace, but Cody Fabianic is destroyed. He's up in smoke. So is Greg Elliott, which they were already the heaviest damaged cars in the whole field. Doug Blackman has some pretty bad damage, but he'll be able to continue on with that damage and still be able to race. He kept it as clean as he could. Damian Crump got through it with minimum damage, but the 37 car, that's William Martin, his car is pretty heavily damaged. He might be out of the race, along with the 33 of Roy Geeson. He's got some heavy damage.
Boy, oh boy. It don't take me just a little bit, buddy.
That's quickly slimming down the number of cars we've got.
You got it, TMP. Are they going to come in this time, or are they going to stay out? They ain't got but what?
Looks like they're staying out.
12 laps.
Yeah, they've done 12 or 13 laps, but almost all of those have been under caution. There's only been about 2 or 3 green flag laps on these sets on a set of tires. But Andrew Jump in the 88 with damage. Douglas Carlson, last week's winner, in the 86 with damage. He was running toward the back most of this race, and he got caught up in that one. Casey Duncan.
He got a lot of damage, Doug did.
Yeah, he did.
Casey Duncan, he's still in good shape, though, I think. He's showing, there he comes, coming in. He's probably going to get some work done before the pace car gets back.
Yeah.
Doug Blackman, I reckon, he's out, I reckon. He ain't showed up. That's on Casey. Andrew Mraz is still leading it. We got Dylan Mirando right behind him. But look, Brandon Ketchum there. Ryan.
Yeah, he missed that wreck and shot right up to third in that T&P Knives Chevrolet. He was toward the back of the field, missed that wreck beautifully, and shot up to third spot. That worked out well for him. And man, I was wondering why he started so far back. And well, I think he must have just had a bad Q run, because he has run right up to third spot. And the top three, top 4, even maybe the top 5 cars you could all count as championship contenders from last year. I know Jerry Glenn was. Brandon Fries ran a good chunk of the season last season. Brandon Ketchum, Dylan Mirando, and Andrew Mraz were all huge playoff contenders last season, and they're up front here tonight looking to do the same thing this year.
Yes, they are. Yeah, Brandon's going, but he'll be all right there. P&P, he'll be all right. If he don't get mixed up in somebody else's wreck.
That's right.
We had a pretty good race so far, just 2 cautions, right?
Yeah, that was the 3rd caution.
3rd, okay.
There, but pace car is in, and we're going green again. Hopefully we get a long green flag run this time, as Andrew Mraz gets another awesome jump on the field. Clears Dylan Mirando by far, and battle for 3rd is on. Ketchum trying to clear Brandon Fries into turn number 3. Catching those bumps on the bottom of the track. Some guys washing up. That's what caused our last accident there with Damian Crump.
Them bumps will get you.
Yeah, this is very bumpy Texas, and in real life, just a year or 2 ago, they repaved the track, and it is smooth as a baby's bottom compared to this track here. And it's a whole different animal, but on iRacing, we still only have the bumpy old version of Texas Motorspeedway, but it is just as exciting to watch racing here, if not more exciting than the new Texas.
Well, we'll be getting it for long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they rescan that, but here comes a wild battle for the lead. Ketchum thinks about making 3 wide move there. Man, good thing he held back, because Dylan Mirando would have been in trouble there. He would have been stuck in the middle. He doesn't make it work, though. Mraz is going to be able to push out of turn number 4 and get the lead back. But man, Dylan Mirando and Brandon Ketchum almost went into turn 3 abreast for the lead. as the top 5 cars have kind of run away in a single file form there from 6th places. Alan Hinton and Alan Fox there. The 2 Allens running 5th and 6th, but Mirando going back for the lead again. He's going to have to bail out on that one as the top 5 are real close together under a blanket, 1st through 5th.
I see Brandon, he did change his mind a while ago, which was a good call. Because it wasn't headed in the right direction.
No, it was not going to work, that's for sure. And man, these top 5 cars, though, they were nose to tail. I was surprised that they didn't run each other over into turn 3 last time, and they're getting ready to do the same thing again. Ketchum looks low. Mirando looks high on Mraz. Mirando to the outside of Andrew Mraz.
Yeah, he done got called out.
Mirando trying to push as hard as he can to get an exit, and he does have a good exit. He might have a chance there on the outside of Andrew Mraz. Interesting move there by Dylan Mirando. Trying to get to the top, man. Mraz pushed up and got into this 27 maybe a little bit there. Did not give him much room on the top. Mraz stayed a little wide, and that screwed the 27 of Mirando up there.
Yeah, they don't know who they want to run with right now, do they?
Yeah, it's a little messy there. That was a little bit of a dirty move by Mraz to wash up like he did and run a higher line with Mirando on his outside, and that has wadded up this top 7 or 8 cars here.
Here comes, well, there he is tucking in behind him.
Oh man, you couldn't get closer there between Mirando and Mraz there, 1st and 2nd.
That's right.
Ketchum is in the catbird seat there in 3rd, just watching everything in front of him unfold as these guys get ready to battle again, as Mirando pushing it out of turn 4 up to the wall. He's trying to make a run on the outside of Mraz, maybe cross over to the bottom. See what he does. Mraz keeps leaving the top open, and Mirando, man, he almost got in the back of Mraz that time into turn number 1.
Yeah, Brandon laying back a little bit there, watching them 2 race.
Yeah, he's just waiting for them to take each other out.
Yeah, he knows something could happen as long as they're racing one another.
Awfully exciting racing, and while he watches them battle, he's also, I'm sure, saving some tires on that car in case we go green here for a little while.
I think that's the truth. He's laying back a little bit further now. He sees something we don't see, Ryan.
Yeah, he might, as Mirando looks to make a move. Mraz blocks the bottom. Mirando forced to try the top. He's going to arc it in there. Mirando's pushing. I don't know if he's pushing a lot harder than 31 is, or if he's just naturally faster through the center, because he catches up and he has to slam on the brakes almost to stay off the back of Mraz's bumper, because he almost turns him just about every time into turn 3, going from the top to the bottom. He arcs the corner a lot wider.
He's not supposed to be blocking this early in the race.
Yeah, he's going to block a little bit again. Mirando forced to bail out again. They head down into turn 3. Field starting to spread out. It's sort of a 4-car breakaway right now. 5th place on back has kind of lost touch with that main group of 4 up front, with Freeze, Ketchum, Mirando, and Mraz 1st through 4th.
I'm watching these 2 right here, right? Every time Dylan makes a move, he blocks it.
Yeah, Mraz is playing some hardcore defense this early in the going of this race. As the battle for 3rd, Brandon Freeze on the inside of Brandon Ketchum. The Brandon's battling for 3rd.
No,
as Freeze
Brandon Freeze
trying to make it work. He might have him down here into turn 1. Ketchum going to run all the way up toward the wall. And he's hitting those bumps, and Freeze is going to clear him easily out of turn 2. Brandon Freeze passed Brandon Ketchum for 3rd position as they battled. The top 2 were easily able to run away.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the way he spells fries, but he said his name is Freeze.
Yes, we have been.
We done been through that one, hadn't we?
Yes.
He wants to be called Freeze. That's his prerogative.
Either way, he's about to freeze the competition. He is catching up to Dylan Mirando. He's got about 4 miles an hour on him down the back straightaway. He got a huge run out of turn 2. He's looking pretty fast right now, Brandon Freeze is. Didn't win a race, I don't think, all last season. He ran a part-time schedule, and he's looking fast right now.
Yeah, he's closing in a little bit on Dylan.
he did not start in last week's race at Talladega, took a provisional. So that was, he gets 23 points there for the provisional because he didn't actually start the race.
Yep.
But he is planning, I'm sure, on running most of the races this season.
How much fuel are they running tonight, Ryan?
I believe it's either 50 or 75% or something like that fuel. I'm not exactly sure how many laps that's going to make them. They are 28 or so laps into this run for the guys that did not pit at all during those sequence of quick cautions that we had. But everyone came in after the first caution, but then the second and third caution, not everybody came down pit road.
So we don't know how many laps they're going to get.
It's going to be scattered between the field on when these guys need to pit here if green flag pit stops do come into play.
Yep.
But I think we still do have a little while here before they are needed. And then again, with tires being a factor, short pitting is totally going to have to be on these guys' minds here. The fastest lap of the race out of any car, this race is a 29.6. And right now these guys, the leader is running 30.2s and 30.4s of the average laps. Andrew Mraz is running the fastest laps on the track right now. He's got about 2/10 on the rest of the field. So they're about half a second, actually closer to 3/4 of a second off of fastest lap times they'll run with fresh tires.
You can see Dylan Miranda falling back a little bit.
Yeah, Mraz is starting to run away. He actually had to check up there out of turn 2. Watching Mraz, you can see the flame shooting out the exhaust. He had to check out there out of 2 because he almost got the wall. He was pushing a little too hard there. He's pushing really hard, and he needs to calm down, take it easy, because all 4 corners there he made a mistake. He was pushing so hard, caught the apron in turn 4, and then almost caught the wall out of turn 2. As you see them putting the 33 car a lap down, that's Roy Geeson. He is way off the pace with some heavy damage to that car.
Dylan caught up a little bit when he got on that turn there.
Yeah, Dylan is really Andrew Mraz. These last couple laps, Mraz has been making some mistakes.
Yep. Oh,
31 car. Andrew Mraz has a 2/10 of a second lead down the back straightaway over Orlando. Maybe he has learned from his mistakes there, and maybe he'll calm down a little bit. Maybe work on just making consistent lap times instead of trying to break the land speed record here and almost tear the wall down at a turn 2 every lap. And at time by, he did gain about a 1/10 of a second on Miranda. Not much, but that is something.
Brandon back up to 7th there, Ryan.
Yeah, Ketchum falling back on this long run here. He's certainly got some issues with that car. He worked all the way up to 3rd on the last restart, but he's falling back to 7th now.
He must have some damage on it.
Yeah, either that or tires just wearing out or something, because he's starting to struggle with that number 41 machine.
Yep. Alan Fox is in 4th there. He's catching Brandon Freeze. Brandon Freeze have a whole back lid full of that one there in just a second.
Yeah, that 73 Alan Fox has been pretty strong tonight. Very consistent up there, running top 5. Now he's looking for 3rd on Brandon Freeze here. Alan Fox is in the number 73 machine.
He got a good run that time, but he gonna come down there and block him.
He is, and Fox there, he did not run it last week. This is his first start this season, and he's looking pretty strong right now.
He got a good run that time. Brandon got up high, and he got down low. He gonna take that away from him. He got it.
That's right, a good move there by Fox. He is fast right now. It's pretty fast. Fastest car on the track right now, though, is the number 80 of Tommy Gossett. He's running the fastest lap time. He ran the fastest lap last time by because he actually came in the pits under the most recent caution, and he's one of the only guys to have done that. And he is showing how strong fresh tires can be on the long run, and he is blowing guys out of the water. Just past Lee Overton and Brandon Ketchum. He's now up to the 6th position, and he's reeling in Jerry Glenn for 5th.
Yeah, I'm looking at the top 10 cars is in the 29 second bracket. That's pretty good. Alan Fox has got his thing set on the Dylan Miranda now. That's a pretty car he's driving.
It is.
We'll do that, K&P. We have a caution. Let's pull up Brandon Ketchum there, Ryan.
Yeah, Brandon Ketchum falling back a little bit on this run. He just fell down to 10th with Damian Crump getting past him. Also, a couple guys battling, Lee Overton and Alan Hinton. And right in front of Brandon Ketchum there, who's 10th right now, just cruising along. Still no damage to his car, which is very important here when it comes down to it. We got 87 laps to go still in this race, and he is in a hornet's nest of cars, and he's just keeping it calm, taking it easy as he goes to the outside of Lee Overton for that's the 9th position.
Yep. Let's see, Brandon's in 10th position now. He's trying to get around that 16 of Leah Overton. That top side ain't moving too quick tonight.
Yeah, sometimes when the track gets rubbered in or when the tires get a little older, sometimes the top groove can work a little better than usual, or sometimes a little worse than usual if you're on fresh tires, but we'll see how that comes into play. Ketchum's trying it out right now up toward the top of the track on Lee Overton. Looks like he might be able to make that work there. He's got him at the line there for 9th.
He got a good run on him, but no, the 3 got in front of him there.
Yeah, he's close to clearing Lee Overton, though.
Alan Hilton?
Yeah, Alan Hilton's in his way a little bit on the top. He's holding these 2 up.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Brandon lost a little bit of speed that time. That 16 there of Lee Overton.
Oh, man, he got into him there.
Ooh, he went down on the apron too.
It's turn 1, yeah, good save by both of them. Ketchum might have picked up some left front damage from that contact. Good save though by both of them. Minimal damage, if any, to any of those cars.
Probably not much at all. Well, Ryan, we 71 laps, 53 laps into 135 here.
Yes, sir, and we are, for these leaders who did not pit at all during that caution sequence, we had the 2nd and 3rd caution. The guys that came in on the 1st caution and the 1st caution only, they are 43 laps in this run here. That's a lot of laps. Also, that's 1st and 2nd. 3rd place, Alan Fox, is only 32 laps on this set of tires. And Brandon Fries is only 37 laps on his. So those guys who pitted on those 2nd and 3rd cautions, that's paying off for them right now because they worked their way to the front pretty quick here. And I think that's a pretty big strategy move that got these guys to the front.
Andrew Mraz has got a good, comfortable lead right now over Dylan.
Yeah, he's pulling away right now, 1.3 seconds. Actually closer to 1.5 seconds. Oh, man, Mraz might have kissed the wall there out of 4 a little bit. Not enough to really hurt him so much, but might have lost a little bit of time and speed as Jerry Glenn comes down pit road. I think he actually might have got the wall during that green flag run. He was running up in the top 5 during that run.
Hey, we should see some pit stops coming up pretty soon.
I would think so myself, as Alan Fox going for 2nd on Dylan Miranda.
Alan Fox has got it from him, look like.
Yeah, it does. He's going to power off a turn 4 on those slightly fresher tires. And he's going to take that 2nd position in his debut in a 73 car.
10 laps fresher tires.
Makes a pretty big difference.
Oh, yeah. You got that right.
see if he can reel in Andrew Mraz before he makes his pit stop.
Well, they running 2981 and 2964, Dylan Miranda. Alan Andrew. Ain't much difference in them.
Yeah, that time by, it was a 31.274 for Mraz and a 31.4 for Alan Fox, so about a little more than a tenth between the two of them that last time by.
Yeah, right there, 274 and 400. The track is slowing down. They need to come in and get some tires.
Here comes Dylan Miranda, as you say it, from third position. cleanly makes his way down to the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit down pit road from third spot. Also, Alan Hinton, who was running up in the top 10, he came in last time by, and so did the 21 of Jeremy Clifton. He was in the top 10. But here they come, the guys that didn't come in since the first caution, making their pit stops for 4 tires and fuel. Dylan Miranda is on pit lane here in the 27 car. And here comes leader Andrew Mraz for the first time all day long. Lap 58, he gives up the lead to Alan Fox under the green flag pit sequence here. Also, Tommy Gossett is in, Andrew Jump is in, Orlando Rivera, David Schneier, all these guys coming in, as Alan Fox is out there on the fresher tires compared to the guys that haven't pit yet. But now the guys that are coming down pit road, they're going to be a lot faster than the guys that haven't come in yet on these laps that they have the fresher tires.
We got 48 laps on them tires Brandon Ketchum has.
Even though Alan Fox has fresher tires than all the other guys that haven't pit yet, he's losing time to Mraz and Miranda, who have now already made their green flag stops because now they are on brand new fresh tires.
He might have something wrong. That comes the 80 in. Tommy Gossett. Or he's coming out.
Yeah, he's on his way out of pit road. And Andrew Mraz has merged onto the racetrack in front of Dylan Miranda, but it's not as far in front of Dylan Miranda as he was before the pit sequence. Not a huge difference, but they're about equal to the distance between the two of them from the caution. Also down pit road now, 29 of Brandon Fries from up toward the front of the field is in. Still a couple guys left to pit that are maybe banking on the hopes of a caution, including Alan Fox, who was running in second on the fresher tires compared to everyone else. He is still out on the racetrack. Also, Damian Crump is out on the track. These guys are on 41-lap old tires. Lee Overton, he's there in the third position in the 16 machine. The 41 of Brandon Ketchum still has not made a pit stop from the fourth position. Douglas Carlson, last week's winner, and Casey Duncan. Those are the 6 cars that have not made a pit stop yet.
Now, when Brandon Ketchum comes in, wait till he gets out of the pit and then pull him up.
Alan Fox is now from the lead down pit road, and also second place Damian Crump coming in together. So Lee Overton now is going to claim the lead as he still has not made his pit stop. And Brandon Ketchum is now in third as Alan Fox is in pit road. He's actually up to second now, is Ketchum.
Wow. Alan Hilton just passed him on them fresh tires.
Shows the difference as Ketchum getting blown out of the water on these old tires. He needs to pit soon.
Why in the world?
This strategy really only hurts you unless a caution comes out.
I don't understand why he don't want to pit.
He's trying to make it so when if this run goes even longer, he'll have the fresher tires, or if there's a caution, he'll trap the field lap down if he can. But we're still waiting on a lot of cars to come down pit road. Lee Overton, the leader, still has not come in yet in the 16 machine.
Yep.
Still waiting on four cars to pit. Lee Overton, Brandon Ketchum, Douglas Carlson.
There comes Brandon. When he comes off pit road there, bring him up. I'm going to talk to him.
All right.
I can't see that. I can't finagle all that around. That's why I got you doing it.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to bring him up under? I can't bring him up under the green flag. We'd have to wait for a caution. If
No, when he comes out. Oh, is it under green?
Yeah, we can't bring them up under green flag while they're racing. We can bring them up under the next caution, though. I'll do that for sure.
I thought that was a caution come out. I seen that yellow thing.
Oh, good. We'll bring them up under the next caution, though, for the TNP Knives guys.
He got a good pit stop.
He did. He's going to come out pretty good shape here. And if you look here, the battle between Andrew Mraz and Dylan Miranda, these are the first and second place guys. Once everyone files through on their pit stops, those two guys are on top of each other for what will become the lead once Duncan, Carlson, and Overton come down pit road.
Yeah, and he's a little bit closer on him this time.
He was about a second and a half back, but he reeled him in there.
Yeah, Dylan Miranda doing a good job right now.
Two really fast race cars.
Yeah, he is. So the 29.9 and 29.980, hey, they running about neck and neck there. Dylan tried to look on the outside there.
I think Dylan Miranda has the faster car, but he just cannot pass Andrew Mraz for the life of him. He's been stuck behind him this whole race. Mraz blocks when he can, and Miranda just cannot work around him. But once Miranda works his way past Mraz, if he ever can, I think we'll see him run away with the lead.
Yeah, you color him gone if he gets around Allen.
Yeah,
Andrew,
sure.
I mean. There's 66 there. He's up there. He's a lap down.
Lee Overton is on a 48-lap run here as we cross the line for halfway. Lee Overton, Douglas Carlson, and Casey Duncan are on 48-lap old tires. And they're still hanging in there, waiting and hoping for a caution, which would be the saving grace for those three. But if they don't get that, it's just going to hurt them really bad here overall in the race.
Brandon dropped down to 15th.
Douglas Carlson, last week's winner, is making his way down pit road, and so is Lee Overton at the same time, down into 3 and 4. Casey Duncan, though, looks like he's staying out to do one more lap here. He's going to lead a lap at the line.
Yeah, here comes you two into the pit stop.
So that leaves Casey Duncan, the last to make a green flag pit stop here, about 13 laps after the first guy that came in. That's Dylan Miranda. He was one of the first, 13, 14 laps from the first group of guys. So it's a pretty big difference, 14 laps on tires for these guys that stayed out.
There comes there comes Casey Duncan in.
Yep, he just dropped in, so that gives the lead back to Andrew Mraz, and Dylan Miranda right behind him in second.
I just imagine that Dylan's getting perturbed about what's going on. You know what?
Oh, he got a good run out of two this time, but see, Mraz blocks down to the middle lane again. I'm sure Mirando's getting maybe a little ticked off with the 31 car, the way he's defending, even though I'm sure Mraz understands that Miranda is the faster race car.
Mraz ain't supposed to be blocking this late early in the game.
Yeah, just past halfway, and Mraz has led every lap in his defense, but Miranda has been stuck behind him this whole race, and Miranda hasn't been able to get to the inside of Mraz all race long, and because of that, he hasn't been able to pass him.
He's faster than Alex Mraz. Andrew, I mean.
Yeah, he is. He's been behind him, but he's just stuck. He cannot do anything when he's right behind him in the draft like that. If he can get to the bottom, which Mraz isn't letting him, I think he could really get a good run and run away with it. He's just got to wait for Mraz to make a mistake and pounce, and he'll have it.
I only call it like I see it, Ryan.
And that's true.
And you can see it blocking.
Running third, though, Tommy Gossett having a good run after finishing third at Talladega, running third in the Boss Haas Cycles Chevrolet there in the number 80 car. And then in fourth place, 9 seconds behind, is Alan Fox in the 73, who came in later compared to the top 3 cars, but he is on fresher tires now, so he is one of the faster cars on the racetrack. and Brandon Fries is running in 5th. That's your top 5 right now.
Yeah. I'll go back up here at the front and see. He dropped back now since he can't get around him.
Yeah, he's pulling away a little bit, Andrew Mraz is. But this field has fanned out considerably throughout the track. That car is all over the place now. And that's what I expected the hot Texas sun to do, is make this a very strung out, strategy-based green flag run race. After we got through those first quick 3 cautions in the first 25 or so laps, we're now green flag. We've been green flag for probably about 50 laps now on this run, probably more than that even.
That's right, TMP. I tell you, I'll hush. I don't want nobody getting on me.
So the fastest car on track, as I'm looking at the charts right now, is 4th place Alan Fox, who is on 14-lap-old tires, compared to our leader is on 19-lap-old tires. So a slim difference in the older versus fresher tires, and it's making a pretty big, significant difference in lap times.
I believe Dylan fell back to cool his tires. Here he comes.
Yeah, Dylan's trying all he can right now. He was up right behind Andrew Mraz, and being in his draft through the corners really does hurt your tires, so Dylan might be hurt in the sense of burning up your tires. And if that's the case, he's going to be struggling for grip here in the later running of this green flag run, which if these guys can do about as many laps as they did last time, they did about just under 50 laps. I think they did about 45 laps on tires and such. They still got they're only halfway through this run. And if they can do about another 20, 25 laps, they can get to a point where they can pit and make it to the end of the race if this race does go green the rest of the way.
Yeah. That's going to hurt Dylan if he keeps on, the more laps he gets. He's trying his best to catch up with Andrew Mraz, but he's burning his tires up, Brian.
Yes, he is. You can only do so much about that because he knows he's faster, but he's just watching Mraz run away, and there's nothing he can do about it right now.
Not a thing in the world. I tell you what, if he had a caution, he's going to have to work on him on that restart. If he can get back out there on that second place.
That's right. One guy that is doing pretty well for himself, Tommy Gossett, in the number 80 car. He is trying to reel in that top group of cars. He's not really running fast enough to do that right now, but pretty good run for him. And as they run, if they were to finish like this, Tommy Gossett would probably claim the points lead. It is a little early in the season, obviously, to be talking about points, but Gossett's been very consistent, looking like he's, if it were to end right now, this would be 2 third-place finishes in a row, so that's a pretty strong effort by Tommy Gossett, one of the new guys this season.
He's doing a good job there, Ryan. He's hanging in third tough, but he ain't reeled them in yet. He's got 20? He's way back there, ain't he? The gap is 4.4, so he's way back.
Yeah, right now it looks like, unless we get a caution, obviously it's a 2-horse race between the 31 and the 27, which it really has been all night between these two guys, who again were 2 of the strongest competitors last season, and they're putting on a great show here tonight. 53 laps to go between Mraz and Mirando.
Yes, sir. You're going to see Dylan Mirando close that gap, though.
Oh, yeah, he's not done yet, that's for sure.
No, he's not.
Still a ways to go in this run, and he could just be holding back, and Mraz, obviously, he could make mistakes. We've seen it before out of both of these guys make mistakes, and wouldn't be surprised if either one of them does, and that could change the whole outcome of this race.
I'm telling you, he's making Andrew Mraz burn them tires up.
He is.
Look at Andrew. He gets way down there, and Dylan's in that second groove.
Yeah, Dylan's searching for grip and trying to find a line outside of the draft of Andrew Mraz so he can find some clean air to get himself a good run. So you can see him, he arcs the corner a lot wider. That's what I've been noticing Mraz does compared to, or Mirando does compared to Mraz. Mraz kind of goes from the middle line straight to the bottom. Mirando runs from the wall and he cuts wider down to the bottom of the track. And I feel like that is what makes Mirando faster here around Texas Motorspeedway.
Yep, he's cutting that corner. He's running high and cutting that corner. He's catching him.
If Mraz ran the second groove and Mirando got to the bottom where it's faster and he didn't have the dirty air of Mraz holding him up.
He caught him, didn't he? Or he's catching him. That's what Dylan needs to get out of that dirty air.
He does.
I'm sure that's heating them things up too, and them staying right behind him.
Oh, totally.
We got a good race going there, buddy.
Very good race here between the top two. Have been nose to tail all race long. Tommy Gossett still running third. These guys sort of fanned out with the long green flag run, but it's putting on a good show and a good exposition of talent here between these guys.
Yes, it is. Well, Brandon Ketchum fell back to 13th, and Lee Overton's right behind him. We got some race going on back here, but there's Andrew Jump. I haven't seen him in a while in there.
Yeah, he's been quiet here tonight, Andrew Jump has.
Yeah, Orlando Rivera. That's a new name.
Man, Dylan Mirando just caught the fence at a turn 4, actually, and there is a little bit of damage to the right front end of that one. I don't know if that'll affect him too much, but it certainly is going to scare him a little bit.
Let's see what it looks like.
He did kiss the wall just at a turn 4 now.
Yeah, he got some right front damage. Left front damage, I'm sorry.
A little bit too at the turn 4 just then. And Mirando's reeling him in fast. If Mirando didn't get the wall there last time out of 4, he probably would have been close enough to make a move, but he didn't get to do it that time.
Boy, he closed.
These guys are now 31, 32 laps into this set of tires.
Closing in on him fast now.
Cars are getting hard to handle as tires are wearing out.
I think Dylan, if he'll lay back just a little bit and let them tires cool, he can get another run on him. He ain't letting him out of his sight.
Oh no, Mirando hasn't been further back than a full second behind Mraz in a long time now.
Yeah, you have to get 3 seconds back.
Mirando almost lost it there. He got the apron in 2, and Mraz running away. Now he's got a huge lead, Andrew Mraz does.
I believe
Mirando
I'd come
lost
in.
all he had.
I believe if I was Dylan, I'd come in and get some fresh tires.
Yeah, I think a good strategy, you're right, is to short pit and try to catch Mraz not paying attention and try to get a lead on him under the green flag pit stops we're bound to have here shortly.
Tommy Gossett's still falling back further.
Yeah, it's Alan Fox is reeling him in also at the same time. Tommy Gossett, and he looks like he's about to lose that 3rd position here shortly. The 73 Alan Fox has 10 lap, or about 10 lap, a little less than 10 lap, more like 5 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field, and those are showing here on the long run as he is reeling in that 80 car pretty fast for 3rd.
He's been doing that all night, ain't he?
He has.
Get back up front here. Dylan Mirando needs to get some new tires on that thing.
Yeah, short pitting would probably be a good strategy call for him. Because another thing you got to think about is how many laps are left and how long you can last. About now is the time where you could pit and make it to the checkered flag without having to pit more than once. So you could pit now and make it to the end on that tank of gas with 43 coming to 42 to go. So with that in mind, this is going to be the last pit stop of the race if the race does go green the rest of the way. But if we have cautions, obviously guys are going to pit the tires.
They still going to have to pit.
One more pit stop at least right now is what you need.
Come on, Dylan. Go on and get you some fuel, buddy. Tires. I get at least right side tires.
That's one thing that these guys really do in practice and test sessions before the race is test what the car reacts like with 2 tires only. If that is a strategy you might want to pull off late in the race, or if it's something you could do with maybe a little bit left in the race if you really lose that much time or the car loses handling with the right side only. Yeah, that's something you got to experiment with before you try it in a race. And if these guys did try it out in practice or something, they know what to expect if they take 2 tires versus 4 versus none even. And they can make those kinds of calls.
You see what them new tires does right there.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. 2 tires, they'll save you a few seconds for sure in pit road, but we'll have to see what it does on the racetrack compared to 4 tires.
On the long run, yeah. Boy,
on the short run, I bet you 2 tires is a pretty good call, but on the long run, I don't know.
Brandon's falling back further and further. That bump on that wall got him, didn't it?
It did. And we got a couple guys starting to come down pit road. 8th place is in. That's Jeremy Clifton. Also, Alan Hilton is in. And here comes Tommy Gossett from 3rd place. He's coming down pit road. And so is Mirando from 2nd place. He's going to get the short pit on Andrew Mraz.
That's what he needs to do. Here he comes.
Dylan Mirando down pit road along with a lot of cars. Tommy Gossett is in. Jeremy Clifton is in. A couple other guys down pit road. The 3 Alan Hilton is in. And Andrew Mraz now he's going to come in. Andrew Mraz, once he saw Mirando come down pit road, he came right in behind him. So Andrew Mraz is in pit road, and Alan Fox is going to claim the lead as he has the fresher tires and more fuel than these guys. So with this pit stop, you can make it the rest of the way to the end of the race.
Yep. Let's see where he comes out on Dylan.
Yeah, Andrew Mraz just getting the right sides done. Now the crew goes around to the left side tires. Once they drop the jack on that car, he is going to jump out of the pits as quick as he can. Let's see where he comes out compared to Dylan Mirando. Dylan Mirando coming down towards turn number 1 here with the fresh tires. He's pushing with all he's got, trying to see if he can get around Mraz, who's coming out of turn 2 now. Right at the merge there at the blue cone, Mraz is going to come out with a comfortable lead over Dylan Mirando as race leader Alan Fox, who still hasn't made a pit stop, comes around. He's right behind Andrew Mraz there.
Yes, he is.
But compared to the last pit stop sequence, we had a lot more guys staying out for a longer period of time. This time we already have only a couple guys that have not come down pit road yet that are in front of the leaders as Dylan Mirando comes around to unlap himself on round race leader Alan Fox.
Well, looked like he passed Dylan, didn't he?
Yep, Mraz holding Dylan behind him, and Dylan's got some work to do if he wants to try. We know he's probably the faster out of the 2. We know that he is faster, but he's got a lot of ground to make up on Mraz if he wants to make something work. He might need a caution to make something happen. And with 35 laps to go, that's still very much a possibility. We've been green flag for about 80 laps or so, I feel like, since the last caution.
He's catching him, though. He's pulling him in a little by little.
Oh, he's going to try, that's for sure. He's not out of it yet.
No, he ain't. Now, Brandon, I believe, has done had it for tonight. He's, I don't know if he can catch him or not. He's running, though.
Yeah, Brandon Ketchum.
He's in 3rd.
He's doing pretty good. Yeah, he's 3rd. I don't think he's come down pit road yet, though, so we'll have to see. Yeah, he's still 38 laps on that set of tires.
Yeah, but he got the leader right behind him, ain't he?
Yeah, he does. He's right now he's 3rd, and only 3 guys have not made a pit stop yet that are in front of the leaders. Now it's 2 because Alan Fox has made his way down pit road. So Damian Crump leads. Brandon Ketchum is 2nd. And Andrew Mraz is about to get up to third with Dylan Mirando, and those guys have already made pit stops. So right now, Damian Crump leading some laps in the 12 machine.
Yep. He'll come in, and I'm sure Brandon Ketchum will stay out one lap. Here comes Damian. See what Brandon does. Yep, he's going to stay out.
Ketchum out wide to the top of the track. It looks like he's going to do another lap. He'll claim the lead if he can beat Crump to the line. I don't think he can, so he's not the official leader yet. But next time by, he will be your leader on the scoreboard, as Andrew Mraz running in second there as he gets around Damian Crump, with Mirando running third. And it's about 1.3 seconds between Mraz and Mirando.
Well, we got him. Well, he's leading on the board. He's coming in now.
Yeah, here comes Ketchum. Whoa, got close there with Mike Gant there, the slow car who was right behind him.
That was close.
Ketchum down pit road.
This will be his last pit stop, so
yep.
That'll be up between him and Alex and Andrew Mraz. Why is he?
Tommy Gossett is going to end up in third as pit stops file through, with Alan Fox in fourth. Brandon Fries will end up in fifth after we file through pit stops. Still waiting on fourth place car. Lee Overton needs to make a pit stop as he's getting passed by Tommy Gossett.
What will Brandon Ketchum doing staying on pit road? Has he got? He's fixing that damage.
He's fixing the damage. Yeah, that's right. He's got that right side damage that he just got fixed up. Took those extra few seconds to fix it.
As long as he don't get a lap down.
That lead, though, is shrinking between Mraz and Mirando, down to 0.8 seconds between Mraz and Mirando now.
You think he can catch him there, Ryan?
I don't know how he's going to do here if he's pushing so hard on the long run, so...
I wouldn't push so hard.
He's pushing as hard as he can. He's got nothing to lose at the moment.
Right. He keeps on. He wears them tires out. He won't never catch him.
As long as he doesn't wreck, it's not like he's going to lose any spots there. He's got 10 seconds back to Tommy Gossett.
Yep. That's a long way, 10 seconds.
Hey,
darn.
Coming this time by to 27 laps remaining. Here we are coming to the completion of lap 108 of 135. And I remember at the start of this race, I mentioned the track temperature was 89 degrees, and as the sun has set and clouds, covers, and buildings covering the sun has come into effect, it's now 79 degrees. So track temperature lowered 10 degrees, which is pretty significant. And that does change how the cars drive here, makes them tighter and faster here.
That keeps them from burning their tires out as much, too.
That is also very true. Less sliding around, more grip, less tire burn off. So that could change how this race turns out in the long run.
Well, we don't look like we're going to get to see the dark.
No, I don't think this race was long enough to get to the dark, but we did see a noticeable change in track temperature from the start of the race till now. 10-degree drop, and oh, trouble! Second place Dylan Mirando is around and in the wall. Caution's going to come out. And oh my gosh, that changes this whole race as Dylan Mirando's car is toast. Jacob Chalafaux lapping him, putting him another lap down, and something must have happened there. I didn't see what the cause was.
31.
The 27, and it was a 71 of Chalafaux.
Let's see, the 71 hit him, right?
It wasn't, I mean, the 27 of Mirando, he was maybe expecting Chalafaux to be a little higher up toward the wall. There was still probably another car width.
Let's go back. Let's see. Where's Dylan at here where I'm finding?
Mirando came up from the bottom to the top. And caught him there in bad spot.
Where is Dylan Mirando? I don't. There he is, right there. Let's go back and see what happened there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, let's catch it again. I'm gonna get it coming around this time. The instant replay. He was running by himself there, Brian. I mean, Ryan.
Yeah, he came up into the 71 there, and just unfortunate circumstances with the lap down car. Unfortunate that a car that's 69 laps down plays a factor into this race here.
He went up on him a little bit.
Yeah, Miranda came up into him for sure. That's right. He expected Chalifo maybe to be a little higher up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Miranda was exactly thinking there, but he came up into him, and there they went.
Yes, he did. All right. You
the
going?
Whole field though now down on pit road, getting 4 tires and fuel, or maybe even no fuel because you don't need it anymore. But Andrew Mraz comes out as the leader. Dylan Miranda not going to be in second anymore. That gives second place to Tommy Gossett and third place to Alan Fox here, as that is going to be the top 3 here when we come green with less than 25 laps to go now. It's going to be about 22 laps to go when we go green.
Yeah, Brandon, I think, ain't going to have no chance now. He back in 16th.
They gave Dylan Miranda the EOL penalty for the cause of the accident on that one, and it's not going to matter because he is got heavy damage to that car.
He's out.
He'll still probably be able to hang on for maybe a lead lap finish if he doesn't have any required repairs. And if he does hold on for a lead lap finish, that's still right now. There's only 13 lead lap cars. It's still an all right finish, but unfortunate for a guy who's we know so fast with Dylan Miranda. That's 2 weeks in a row now that he's in a big hole. Last week he was taken out on the lap 1 accident, and this week really strong run, and to the back he goes.
Brandon ain't coming in. He just got 6 laps on them tires though.
Yeah, Ketchum did hold out on those tires pretty long. He's still on the track there. He is the first car 1 lap down, so if we get another caution, he will get the lucky dog. And he's got a car that's in better shape than some of these guys on the lead lap, so if he can get that lucky dog with another caution, he might be in good shape.
Yep. Let's see what he does here. They're real busy out there right there now, TMP. I choose not to bring him up in here and him busy. He's concentrating on that restart.
Pace car lights have gone off. We got a couple guys getting the wave around here. Andrew Jump, David Schneier, and Jake Clarkson all going to get back on the lead lap. Roy Geeson getting another lap back. Casey Duncan is going to get back on the lead lap. So that brings the amount of lead lap cars up to 14 as they stayed out. Brandon Ketchum and Dylan Miranda are going to have to battle it out for who gets the lucky dog. They're both 1 lap down in 15th and 16th position, as we're getting ready for the restart between Andrew Mraz, Tommy Gossett, and Alan Fox, who 3 real fast guys. We'll see if anyone can pass the unpassable driver of Andrew Mraz.
Ain't nobody done it tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Not a single car has passed.
Not a single car has passed him.
Other than when he comes down pit road, he hasn't been passed by anybody. Dylan Miranda struggled and couldn't do it. I'd be surprised if any of these guys can do it, unless, of course, a mistake is made by maybe Andrew Mraz or something like that. And he has also been a really good driver on the restarts here. Pace car is in, coming to 21 laps to go. Andrew Mraz gets a great jump, and Alan Fox sticks his nose in there for the second spot on the number 80 car of Tommy Gossett to the bottom of Brandon Fries. He's going first spot there in the 29 car. But that number 73 car and that number 31 car are both the only 2 clean cars left on the track, and now they're a 1-2 as Alan Fox is cleaner into second down the back straightaway towards turn 3.
Let's see if Alan Fox can do anything with Andrew Mraz there, Ryan.
This is the best spot he's been in all night long, and he's finally got a chance to go for the lead. We'll see if he can reel in. Oh, big crash in the back. The yellow flag is out. 1, 2 cars around. 1 car on his lid is Lee Overton.
Oh boy.
Doug Blackman, Orlando.
Lee Overton. Let me get a hold of Lee and bring up a replay.
looks like Orlando Rivera in the 8 car came up as the 16 of Lee Overton maybe also at the same time came down. And, man, bad spot. Orlando Rivera gets right hooked into that outside wall.
Boy, that got 4 of them, didn't it?
Yeah, the 16, the 8, the 25, and the 86, last week's winner there, Douglas Carlson. Heavy damage for all of those cars. Blackman, Overton, and Orlando Rivera are really badly damaged. I think Rivera might be out of the race with that one. That car's toast.
Yeah, it's smoking. Everybody can see that baby smoking.
Yeah, I think the 16, the 8, and the 25 got the worst of it. And the good news for you guys over there at TMP Knives, Brandon Ketchum, I believe, should be getting the lucky dog here. He's the first car a lap down, and that took out 2 lead lap cars.
Sure did.
Some free spots there for Brandon Ketchum. We'll see if these guys decide to pit or not. We did get probably a lap or 2 on those tires.
They're coming in.
Thinking about it. No, he's going to fake them out.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Everybody stays out. He almost got a couple guys to buy it and come down pit road, but everybody stays out except for some guys in the back coming in to repair some damage and get fresh tires.
That was a good fake.
It was.
Jacob, you say you out of it, buddy? Hey, Jacob, how you doing, buddy? I tell you what, Ryan, they just ain't nobody been able to catch Andrew Moraz. Well, they've caught him, but they can't get around him.
Yeah, he's been really hard to pass here all night long, and it's not a bad thing that he's hard to pass. I mean, it's proved that it's a good thing all race here. He's been leading. He has not been passed by a single car all night. That is a pretty impressive thing to be able to say, and as long as he can keep that fact to be true for these last 18 laps here as we come to 17 to go, he'll win this race.
Well, he's a little bit on the offensive side, ain't he? I mean the defense.
Yeah, it's not always a bad thing. He hasn't gotten into anyone, hasn't been super dirty about it. So as we take 2 laps to the green here, that means we'll go green with 15 laps to go in this race.
If he causes a wreck doing that, though, he'll be put out.
That is very true, which if that 73, Alan Fox, or even Tommy Gossett, Brandon Fries, Alan Hilton, all these guys in the top 5, if they can get under him, that's all it takes is get under him to cause an accident, or you don't even need to get under him, you just got to get in the back of him. But
that's right. Him being in your way would do it, though.
Yep.
You got to have 10 laps to go before you can do all that expensive blocking.
That's right.
And we're coming up on it. It's 20, that's 40 laps to go this last time around.
Yeah, still 17 to go right now. We're going to take 16 to go this time.
Yep, 16 laps. I was reading backwards on that thing.
Yeah, this is coming to the completion of 119. Should take one to green this time. So 15 laps to decide it.
I tell you what, if Alan Fox don't get right up on him when he gets that start, he ain't gonna get him. He got a hammered down on that top lane, Bubba.
We'll see how Alan Fox can do. If he can have a good restart here and get to the bottom and not lose much time to the 31, he'll be in good shape. But it's been tough to keep up with the leader on the restarts of these races. No one's come close to Mraz on a restart.
If he messes around and gets in front of him, he will be messed up before the restart. Cause Iracing will call you.
That is right.
They'll black flag you in a heartbeat.
Yep.
We fixing to find out. Lap 120.
Yep, we're going to be 15 laps here to the finish of this race. We have 14 cars on the lead lap. And they're going to duke it out to the end.
You can bet on that.
Who's going to get it? Pace car is in. Andrew Mraz leads him.
Oh,
to the
no.
green flag.
Oh, he got back.
He gave it back, so he doesn't lead to the line. No penalty there.
Woo.
He lost time on that one as they're door slamming for third. Things getting aggressive between Freeze and Gossett down into turn 1.
I thought he messed up there, Ryan.
Man, he did a good job checking up and giving the lead back to Mraz.
Yes, he did.
He tried as hard as he could to get the spot. And now it is up to Alan Fox. Can he reel him in these last 14 to go this time by?
Well, you got a line there before you get to the flag. You got a line there that you pass, and then you can go.
Yeah, that's right. And he was close, but he saved it as Tommy Gossett is actually going to make a move here for second. But on the top side, Alan Fox isn't going to give up. Man, Brandon Freeze gets the wall hard out of turn 2.
Yeah, he did. I seen that.
Fine and everything.
There comes Alan Fox back on top.
Yeah, he's not giving up there.
Not yet. Oh, they in a wreck. Alan Fox, he saved it, didn't he?
There they go.
Let's look and see. Let's look and see.
Down here into turn number 1. That is another big one at Texas, and that takes out about everybody that was left to battle with Andrew Mraz.
Alan Fox was involved in it.
Alan Fox, Damian Crump.
Whoa! God, that nail went to the moon right there, buddy.
Yeah, Casey Duncan nailed him.
Boy, that 3 went to the moon, didn't he?
Yeah, just about. Up there with Neil Armstrong. He.
Oh, Lord. It happens like this, Ryan, when you get close to the end, brother.
That's how it always turns out. I'm surprised we didn't see this at Talladega. More like a Talladega-style race, but that 3-car, when he bounced off the inside wall, he came shooting up in front of the 17, and there was absolutely nowhere for him to go.
You got that right. Well, is anybody going to have anything for him?
We'll have to see, but Tommy Gossett did a good job missing the wreck once they actually started crashing.
Yeah, but
once he got into the 73, I'm not sure whose fault that was. I mean, the 80 gave him plenty of room, but the 73 came down a little harder than the 80 did.
Alan Fox is the one that got turned first.
Yeah, I would if I had to call it anything. I'd call
I know
that
what I was
deal.
doing now. I got to put that thing back on real time. Alan Fox turned. I seen him get turned. I know that's one of the first ones I seen.
Yes.
We went back and looked at the replay, and the replay showed him turning.
Yeah, it was close. I'm not sure who they're going to put the blame on and give anyone an EOL, but we look here. I'm looking at pit stops. We had about half the field come in, half of them stay out. An interesting split puts Andrew Mraz still up front. He did not come in. Jerry Glenn, someone we haven't talked much about all night, up to second. He stayed out, and so did last week's winner, Douglas Carlson. Brandon Ketchum, who just got the lucky dog, he's up to fourth.
He's gonna be hard.
There. First car to come out of pit road with fresh tires is the 21 of Jeremy Clifton. He's in 6th place right now. Jake Clarkson is 7th. 8th is Andrew Jump. Brandon Freeze is 9th. A couple other guys coming out. Looks like Tommy Gossett lost some spots there. He's getting damage fixed to pit road. But that wreck took out at least half a dozen cars.
Yes, it did. Andrew Mraz is still leading. He led every lap.
Yeah, every lap that he hasn't lost because of green flag pit stops and such, he has been up front. Still has not been passed, and after that last wreck, I don't see how anyone's going to pass him here. Not enough time left, and there's no clean cars left other than Andrew Mraz. He's been just watching the mayhem in his mirror all night long now.
I tell you, though, he got 2 hard runners behind him, though. That Jerry Glenn, he ain't been up there tonight. He's there now.
Yeah, Jerry's been cruising around 5th for the most part of the night, maybe a little outside the top 5, but he's been doing pretty strong here tonight.
Yeah, you got Brandon Ketchum behind Douglas Carlson, and I don't know. Ketchum may be running out of time.
He is 4th right now, and compared to most of these guys up front, he's got very little damage. Mraz is about the only clean car left on the racetrack.
I guess so. He's in first place.
Yeah, and he's been watching everything unfold in his mirror. Usually guys say hanging back is the best way to stay safe, but when you're the leader and you don't have anybody next to you or in front of you, it's pretty easy to miss wreck because they're all behind you. So he's been just watching the movie in his rearview mirror all night long.
Yes, he has. It's 10 more laps.
Now, as we cross the line, pace lights are off. We're going to go green with 8 laps to go, 9 laps to go right now.
It'll be 9. We'll see if Jerry Glenn got anything for him. You got the 86 of Douglas Carlson right there about under him. He got pretty good damage though.
Yes, he does.
Brandon McKetchum is right there with him, buddy. Gonna be an interesting finish.
That is for sure.
I believe they're gonna get up with him, though, Ryan.
Yeah, they'll try. But if I had to pick anyone, I'd obviously have to go with the favorite, Andrew Mraz, who has not looked back all night long and has put on a show for us tonight here on domination and playing defense like no other, and see if he can finish it off.
Well, he can block now legally.
Yes, he can. 8 laps to go. He's been showing his blocking skills all night long, and the way he's been doing it, as long as he doesn't wreck himself like he has been all night, he's going to be in good shape as he takes off right with the pace car green flag back in the air. Jerry Glenn falls in line in second place, and the battle for third is on between Douglas Carlson and Brandon Ketchum. Doug Carlson there falling back. Ketchum is up to third now. Another clean car there, the 38 of Jake Clarkson there. Probably the only other clean car. He's trying to get fourth there as he held back all night long. Maybe he's got something hidden as Ketchum shoots up to second place down into turn 3.
Boy, he's getting it now, buddy. Brandon's catching on.
Brandon Ketchum up to second, and the TNP Knives Chevrolet has a chance here. He's got a bit of ground to make up from second place. He is a full 7/10, just under 7/10 of a second behind the leader as they head down into turn number 1 here. Coming down, we got 7 laps to go.
I'm tell you what, Andrew Mraz ain't had nobody like Brandon Ketchum behind him tonight.
It's the first time Ketchum's been up toward the front, and guys are getting a little sketchy there behind these guys. Third place on back is under a blanket, side by side, getting into each other a little bit. Down the front straightaway, that's getting a little intense there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see ourselves another caution here soon, the way those guys are racing. But Ketchum, we're going to see if he can reel in Andrew Mraz here without the help of a caution.
If he has a caution when they cross the line, it'd be over.
Yeah, once we cross here after 5 laps to go, I think a caution will end it. As Andrew Mraz leads Brandon Ketchum, he is reeling him in.
He's catching him fast, brother.
Ketchum has 6-lap fresher tires.
Ketchum fast, he's fast.
And at this point, Ketchum needs to hope there's no caution, because if we do have a caution, this race is going to end. And the way these guys are racing for third, it's scaring me a little bit here. Oh, they're door slamming, and they are going to crash. They're crashing at a
Oh, no. Brandon didn't have a chance.
Brandon Ketchum was flying there at the end as they come to 4 to go.
Yeah, got Ryan, Andrew Mraz, Brandon Ketchum, and Jerry Davy Clifton.
I wouldn't call it over yet, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it's over.
The end. Not saying anything yet. We're going to come to 3 to go this time. If we get anything, it's going to be 1 lap, and even if we do get 1 lap, Andrew Mraz has been the restart king.
It ain't gonna be no. They ain't gonna pull no 1 lap out.
Up in smoke, Jerry Glenn and Tommy Gossett. Gossett was running up toward the front, looking for another top 5 here. Looks like that's not going to happen. 2 guys who finished top 5 last week involved in that one, and looks like all of the top 5 finishers last week, except for Douglas Carlson, are going to be out of the top 5 this week. Douglas Carlson, last week's winner, is scored in 4th at the moment. Andrew Mraz is the leader.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be no restart. We ain't got that many laps.
Coming to 3 to go. I mean, the deal is, if we do get if we do have 2 to green now, which I'm not sure if we do, we get another lap, but I don't know. We'll have to see when they come around next time is when we get the official word if the lights go out on the pace car or not.
See if they go out when it comes around.
Yeah, this next time by is the last chance we have to see the lights on the pace car go out, and if they do not, the race is over.
Yep. They're anticipating on it going green.
Yeah, the way they were running.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good race here. The first little bit of the race was mired by 3 quick cautions, but then we had that nice long run that was like an 80-lap green flag run where we saw 2 sets of green flag pit stops, and then we got ourselves the average finish of a race where cautions breed cautions, and we had 4 quick yellows there toward the end of the race, and we'll see if this is the end or not.
Yeah. I got it off our TMP. I got your car in sight, TMP. If the lights don't go off right here, it's over.
We'll see is coming to the line, taking 2 laps to go, and the lights do not go off on the pace car. That means 2 laps to go. We're going to bring it around 2 more times.
Race
and
is over. It's
going to be official for Andrew Mraz, Brandon Ketchum, Jeremy Clifton, your top 3. We'll get to talk to all 3 of them once they take the checkered flag and make it official.
You just go ahead and take the first, the third, and the second, and I'll talk to Andrew.
Sounds good.
I tell you what, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're gonna be all 3 of them.
All right, if you'd like.
I ain't. I'm not in shape to Andrew.
All right.
I'll let you talk to him.
All right. No problem. I'll get all 3 of them. We come around to take the white flag here this time.
It's been a good race, though. I want to thank all of our sponsors tonight, TMP Live, and everybody that sponsored our race. I appreciate it. Hey, we had a great race tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
I know I sure did.
Well, I did too. Them Speed Shop, we want to appreciate them being in here with us too, Ryan.
Yes, we do. Sim Speed Shop, TMP Knives, 2 big sponsors for us here.
Unleash for Graphics. They're one of she's one of our sponsors.
Man, but after all that, 8 cars out of 25 finish on the lead lap.
Wow.
Carnage there toward the end of that race.
Yep.
We had about 23 of them with around lap 100 when we had that caution at the end of the green flag run, but we just started losing them fast.
How many of y'all out there think that Brandon Ketchum could have called Andrew Murad if the caution hadn't come out?
I know I do. I think we would have had
I believe he could have done it. I believe he could have.
The fresher tires would have made the big difference there, those 6-lap fresher tires.
But I'll tell you something else, old Ryan. That guy right there, Brandon Ketchum, he knows how to get around that block.
Well, he does.
He does know how to get around it.
We've seen it before.
Yes, sir.
Ran very well last season and brings it up, runner-up here tonight. That's really good for him in the point standings here when it comes to chasing a championship.
That's it. But you know what? Andrew Mraz last week messed up the whole front 4 or 5, and he won the race tonight.
Yep, turned it around from about the worst week you can have last week to the best you can have this week.
Sure did, but he done it at the wrong track.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good driver right there. TMP, you doing good to sponsor that guy. He's good.
That is the right guy to sponsor. He's the Dale Earnhardt Jr. of this league here. He's got the most fans out there on the stream and the chat.
He got me.
Everyone's wondering where Brandon Ketchum is, and man, he runs well every week. All right, we're going to bring up 3rd place finisher Jeremy Clifton, which, man, he was quiet all race, but he came out of nowhere for a podium finish here tonight.
You go ahead and get them, brother. I'll sit here and get ready for the end.
All right. After I interview them, we'll run through the top 10 finishers and we'll call it a night here.
All right. Oh, take it easy on Alex, okay? Andrew, I mean.
Yep.
User was moved to your channel.
Jeremy Clifton, it's Ryan Gable up here in the OSRN Network booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeremy, you put on a good show out there. Good third place finish, man. You were running toward the back of the racer in the beginning. Didn't make much noise until the very end. You came out of nowhere with all the carnage. Do you put it on maybe luck's end, or maybe were you planning on something like this happening to get yourself to the front there at the end of the race?
Yeah, I kind of hit the wall first few laps and running high and thought I was going to screw myself, so I fixed my damage and then started in the back and worked my way up and got a few lucky breaks with some guys wrecking, so a little bit of both, I guess.
So now when it came down to the end of the race there, if we didn't have that last caution, do you think you would have had a shot on Ketchum and Mraz? Do you think you maybe were in the catbird seat if those two got into each other?
I'd like to hope so. They were a little bit faster than I was the whole race, but I was running some different lines trying to pick some speed up, so you never know, I guess. I'd give it a shot.
All right, you got anyone you want to thank? Any shout-outs you want to make here before I let you back down?
Just a shout out to Darren on Iceman Motorsports for picking me up, and Lee Boy for sponsoring my car.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much. Third place finisher.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, we're going to bring up second place finisher. You've all been waiting to hear from Brandon Ketchum here. We're going to bring him up and talk to him.
User was moved to your channel.
Brandon Ketchum, Ryan Gable up here in the OSR Network booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great, and I'm sure you are too. He had a pretty good second place run there in the TMP Knives Chevrolet. You had a good chance there at the end. When it came down to it, you were reeling in, Andrew, with those fresher tires. Do you think you would have had a shot at him there in the end if we didn't have that late race caution?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it would have been interesting to see. I wanted it to come down to just, me and him racing it out and see just, who came out on top. I'm sad the caution came out, but at the same time, Andrew, he earned this race. He dominated. He did a fantastic job, so hats off to him.
So this race was pretty hot temperatures in this afternoon. High temperature race. Tire wear, I was expecting at the beginning of this race, and we did see it come into play. How big of a deal was tire wear at this track?
Well, the way the temperature is and the new weather system implemented by Iracing, I mean, you really got to manage your tires. If you push too hard for a couple laps, you'll notice it real quick. It definitely plays a big factor on maintaining your equipment throughout the green flag runs.
All right, Brandon, any shout-outs you want to make? Anyone you want to thank here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank TMP Knives for coming on and sponsoring us this season. If you're looking for any type of hunting, carry, just, he has got a good assortment of knives. Go over to his website, check it out. That's tnp-knives.com. Special thanks, out to all the fans in the chat, my wife, Josh Gillen for giving me a team to run on, you guys for calling it up in the booth, and Extreme Motorsports for such a great league.
All right, thank you. Second place finisher, Brandon Ketchum.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, we're going to bring up race winner Andrew Mraz.
User was moved to your channel.
Andrew Mraz, Ryan Gable up here in the OSR Network booth. You got a copy?
I do, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm sure you are too here. You won here tonight at Texas Motorspeedway after dominating this race. I don't think a single car passed you on the racetrack other than green flag pit stops and such. But, man, you put on a great show, played some really good defense there against Dylan Mirando, and Man, what made you so fast all night?
Yeah, I had a really good spotter and crew chief, Steve Dutz. He's helped me a lot, kept my head cool in the game and all that. Yeah, hardly anyone could get around me. The only times were when I had to pit to give up the lead, and I fought back as hard as I could to keep Dylan Miranda behind me. I slipped up a few times, and Dylan Miranda was catching me, and props to him for making it a close race throughout most of the race until he had that incident like at lap 100 or so where he got up into the wall and got a whole bunch of damage. But yeah, I wouldn't have done it without Steve Dutz. He's helped me a lot.
So we were talking to Brandon Ketchum, there, the second place finisher, about how tire wear came into play. We saw a pretty drastic change in temperature from the start of the race to the end of the race. It was about a 15-degree temperature drop, but still with the heat here in Texas and in the afternoon with the weather, how big of a deal was the tire wear with these cars?
It was pretty big. I mean, I could feel it throughout the run. It would get loose, then tight, then loose again as tire wore off. But yeah, I mean, you just have to learn the throttle control and brake points. You have to adjust accordingly, and that's why I've been practicing all week, just tire wear and tire management.
All right, is there anyone you want to thank? Any shout-outs you want to make here before I let you go?
Yeah, I would like to first thank Downforce Motorsports for having me on their team. John Gonzalez as the president of the Downforce Motorsports. I'd like to thank Steve Dutz for spotting and crew chiefing me tonight. And I also like to thank you guys for putting up the broadcast, and Rick Donovan for putting up the league.
All right, thank you, race winner Andrew Mraz.
Thank you guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alrighty, that's all top 3 finishers.
Give us the top 10 rundown there, Ryan, and I'll end the show.
All right, I'll run through them here. Your race winner, as you just heard, was Andrew Mraz in the 31 car with a dominating performance there. In second place in the T&P Knives Chevrolet was Brandon Ketchum. Third place was Jeremy Clifton. Fourth was Doug Carlson. Fifth place was Andrew Jump. Sixth was Jake Clarkson. Seventh was Damian Crump. Eighth place was Alan Fox. Ninth was David Schneier. And 10th place was Brandon Fries. And after that race, Doug Carlson is your points leader. Brandon Ketchum is second in points. And Andrew Mraz is third in points.
All right, I appreciate that, man. We had a good race tonight, Ryan. All right, everybody. Good night from Texas Motorsports, from ExtremeMotorsports99.com. I'm Tim McBrayer, and my host is Ryan Galble. Good night, everybody.